our treasured HR person.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see so many faces. You want to?
Left and right.
You want to do? Can you do it
You
for
want me
me?
to do it?
Yeah,
just,
please.
Give me the electric shock.
Okay. Thanks. So this is why our office has been so incredibly busy. So I hope all of you have had a good experience with our office. I know that it's been extremely busy. We're still calling faculty, making sure we have everything, and making sure that everybody's going to get their correct paycheck at the end of this month. So if you have any questions offline, you can email me or you can just swing by our office. You're always welcome in the office. So I'm just going to go through a couple of brief things that new faculty probably have questions about. And then at the end, you can ask any other questions that you might have. So most important, payday.
It skipped straight.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it skipped the service area ones. Technology. What can you do?
So we have one of the largest service areas. We have 3 colleges. We have Bakersfield College. We have Porterville College, which is about, hour and 15 minutes north of us. And then we have... Yeah. And then
There's a lot of radar in there, so you know.
And then there's Saracoso, which is out in the desert, and it's a little over 2 hours, I would say, out in Ridgecrest, California. But we are by far, Bakersfield is the largest college campus. And then you have the PowerPoint, so you can kind of read about that. We can go on to payday. Most important thing.
Always go on to payday.
Yes, payday. So payday is the last working day of every month. It depends on if you're a 10 or 12 pay. Some people have elected a 10 pay, some people have elected a 12 pay. That can be elected at the beginning of each year. It cannot be changed in the middle of the year. So once you've elected for the year, then that's the pay structure that you'll be on because we've reported it to the retirement. So anybody who wants to change that at this point, you're welcome to come by our office. We haven't started the payroll process yet, but if you don't do it probably by the end of this week, then you won't be able to change it. If anyone is still waiting for their notice of assignment, which I think most of the new faculty are, that does come from our district office. Once we receive official transcripts, we confirm your salary. So if your official transcripts do not get to us in time for the first payday, you will be placed at probably column 2, step 1, until those transcripts are received, and then we confirm your payroll and we go back and we retro you for what you didn't get. So I don't want anybody to freak out that, my pay is not going to be right, it's going to be that way the whole year. No, as long as we get your official transcripts in within the first month or so, we can always go back on the next pay and just retro it back and place you at the appropriate level. I know some people have been coming in kind of last minute hires, that type of thing. We just always err on the side of underpaying you than overpaying you, because it's really difficult to go back and say, you owe us this money back. So it's always nice to say, oh, I'm getting more money, instead of, oh, no, I have to pay the district back. So any questions on that? I know, yes? Yes. Well, if they come directly from the university, then we can accept the electronic, because that's all some universities will provide now. They will not do official paper copies any longer. The only problem sometimes with that is that our firewall, it will block it. So you just have to keep on us to make sure. And as you see by the number in the room, when it was maybe 10 new hires, it was easier to track, but we have a large group here. So just whatever help you can provide us is helpful. So anyone that's teaching overload classes, there's always questions on that. If you're teaching overload, your pay will be based on the dates of the course. So if you have a semester-long course, you will get paid September, October, November, and December. If you have a short-term course, a one-day course, it will be appropriate with the date of the course. We never pay you before the course starts. Again, in the event that it's canceled, you would have to pay us back if we can't stop it in the payroll process. And we always pay you right around the time that the course ends. Yes? Yes, as long as your direct deposit is in.
Could you repeat the question, please? We were unable to hear the question.
You want to repeat it, Tanya?
If you chose direct deposit, will that be your first check or after that?
And yes, it will go in as direct deposit. Any other questions? I know overload is a little bit confusing. It has a different pay rate. That's all in your contract. It's based on the LHE of the course, depending on what you're teaching, will depend upon the hourly rate that you receive. So any questions on that, feel free to email me. Email is always the best way to get a hold of me. So any questions on pay? No? The other thing I wanted to mention is some of you may have received an offer letter that had the old salary on it. That is because CCA just ratified the new salary schedule. So the offer letters are always just a contingent, and then you're brought up to where the salary actually is. So it's nothing. The salary is not a firm placement on the contingent letter. It's just the offer letter offering you the position. This is what we're calculating it at the time you were offered the position. Then it's corrected with this first paycheck. So, benefits. Oh. Say that again?
Where do we actually find out what the salary would actually be?
It's on the KCCD website. So if you go to kccd.edu, that is our district website, and all of the salary schedules. If you go into Human Resources, all of the benefit and salary information is there on the site. Also the newest CCA contract. Yes?
Is that the same for the benefits?
Yes.
The amount that you're paying for the benefits, did that change?
Yes, and the number of plans. They've condensed it down a little to 4. I think it was 6, and now it's condensed down to 4. Okay. So everybody will be asked at one point to come in and redo that form, or I guess as Kathy said, you can do it over at the presentations that they're doing on Friday. If you can't make the presentation, then you can always come into Human Resources, and we can explain any questions that you may have as well. Okay.
Is there a new document that has the different prices?
Yes.
Look online and couldn't find it.
It should be for the 2017-18.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If we filled out our health benefits, but could go to the SIS screen and decide we wanted to change, can we do that?
Yes, because the new plans are not going to go into effect until October 1st. So all of the plans that you signed up for go into effect on September 1st. All benefits will go for everyone will go into effect September 1st, but because of the way CISC runs their annual year, it always starts October 1st. So your new plan will go into effect October 1st, which is kind of confusing. So, and anyone that does not receive their card and needs to have some sort of medical attention, please contact our district office. They will make sure that you can get the attention that you need. Our county office has 47 school districts that they process at the beginning of each year, and so it sometimes can take 30 to 60 days to get the card in the mail. And you'll only receive one. You won't receive a dental, or if you signed up for vision, you'll only get the medical card, and you use that for everything. Any questions on benefits? Yes.
Is the documentation that we received in our initial package when we were hired on the same as what the people were talking about from the union?
It depends when we hired you. So it hadn't been ratified until later in the recruitment season. So again, I would look on the website or come by our office and we can show you the 2 forms and what you've signed up for, because we keep a copy of everything in our office, and then we can help you out as far as getting the new information. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, I think the plan that is the Cadillac plan has gone down in price, so that's a plus. So, any other questions on benefits? Personal information. I know a lot of you have relocated here. Please make sure that we have your updated information, telephone numbers, addresses. If you've signed your beneficiary forms with your old address or old contact information or your benefits, we need to have that information. Otherwise, your cards will go to the incorrect address. And then if you have any other type of communication from CalSTRS, CalPERS, whichever retirement you're in, that will also go to the incorrect address. So if you've moved and you signed up under your old address, please make sure that you send an email to our office or something so that we can get all of that changed for you. Any questions? And even throughout your tenure here, because if you change something, marital status, any type of personal status, that you want to make sure that you stay on top of that, because if something were to happen, then whatever we have on file is where that goes. So please make sure that you always stay on top of your beneficiaries with CalSTRS, CalPERS, with our office, because we do have the designation of beneficiary that we've asked you to sign. In the event that something does happen while you're employed and we do owe you money, it will go to the person on there. So just you can probably email Lori. That would be the best. Lori Carlson is going to be your main contact. She is the person that handles the payroll for faculty. So I would send, and you can always CC me on it. I know that we're just kind of overloaded right now, and we're all trying to pitch in and help each other out. So,
We'll
yes,
make
sir.
sure to get their contact information into the site too.
And it's on the back page. It's
Perfect.
tiny, but I'll go ahead and send this.
Just copy it.
Yeah.
I've got it. I've
Okay.
got your thumb drive right here.
Yes, you do.
Does the address change option on Inside DC take care of this stuff through HR, or do we have to still go in and do it manually also?
I would definitely let us know.
I wasn't sure if that automatically notifies you when we do that.
We have to set up 2 screens on our system. So because we do sometimes mail out the tax forms at the end of the year, and if those are incorrect, or we do the open enrollment mailing, any of that, we try to do everything electronic, but sometimes things go out in the mail, and if it isn't under the right screen, then it'll go to the other address. So, any questions? No? Okay. Sick leave. So depending on what assignment you're on will depend on how many sick days you have per year. So, and then you do receive sick time for overload. So one thing you just want to make sure is when you put in your absence forms, if it's for an overload class, it needs to go on the overload form, and if it's for a part of load class, which is your load that you're getting paid the annual salary, you need to put it in under that. So, and then in the CCA contract, that will tell you what the rules are for putting in your sick leave. So if you're gone a half a day, full day, whatever the case is, it will instruct you on how to put in your absence forms. Any questions? No? Injuries, I think there's 2, yeah.
Skip into the injuries.
Injuries. The other one is just how to get in to do your absences, the leave reporting. So injuries, if you're injured at work, please let us know as soon as possible. Please let your supervisor know. Please send me an email. If it's an emergency, please contact public safety, whatever the case is, but please let us know. That way we can make sure that you're taken care of the way that you need to be taken care of. If you trip and fall and you think, oh, I'm okay, but then you don't report it, and then someone else trips and falls in the same place that you tripped and fell, then we haven't been able to go in and take care of the situation like we need to. People will just keep tripping and falling in the same place. So if you do trip and fall, something falls on you, whatever the case is, please, please, please make sure that you notify us as soon as possible. We do have someone at the district office who is our safety person, and I reach out to her, we get you hooked up with the doctor, everything's good. So please don't be embarrassed, don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't do this. We need to know. So, and sometimes when you let your injuries kind of go on, then it just gets worse. And so, yes.
Back to the sick time.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
Is that
okay.
like a bank that you cash out of if you don't utilize it?
So sick leave is a part of your service credit. So when you get ready to retire, whatever sick time you have will accumulate and it'll be used towards your years of service. So I recommend that you use it frugally, because at the end when you get ready to retire, some people have been given a whole year service credit. So that, sometimes people, oh, I don't feel like going in. I'm not, think in the back of your head. I know it's hard for some people that have a long time until retirement, but that does add up, and it does benefit you at the end of your career. If you've come from another California community college or UC or any California education institution, please let our office know, because we can have you transfer that sick time from your previous institution to our institution. So there's a form for that. If you have not filled out that release, please email us and we'll get you the form so you can contact your previous school district. I'm not sure, but I don't believe that the overload sick leave is applicable to service credit, but I can't promise you that. Any other questions? No? Yes. Yes, you'll keep that. Let me talk to payroll. They've done some changes on that. So can you send me an email, Chris, and I'll just contact them and ask them what happens to your adjunct if it rolls into the overload. Any other questions?
How can we find out about the overload, whether or not it rolls over to, or so basically if we don't use it, we lose it, type deal, as far as the retirement?
I can check on that. I can add that to the PowerPoint when Bill posts it, and I can check on what happens to your adjunct and overload sick leave upon retirement. How many have been previous adjuncts here? There are quite a few. Okay, we'll add that to the PowerPoint so you have that information. Going through the injuries, STRS. Most of you all are STRS members in here. We might have a couple PERS. If you were a classified employee or a member of PERS at a previous employment, you are allowed to elect PERS instead of STRS. But if you've not been a member of PERS or an active member of PERS still, then you would go into the CalSTRS retirement. So it has the information there about what piece of your monthly salary goes towards that, and then depending on when your enrollment would be depending upon the rules of retirement because of the reform. So I highly encourage everyone to get on the website and look at the CalSTRS or CalPERS, just so you have an idea of if you're in the reform, if you're not in the reform, what that means to you. Because retirement does come up quickly. You go for years and you don't think about it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh gosh, I'm almost there and I haven't thought anything about it. So it's important to stay connected, find out what's going on with your retirement, make sure you're receiving your annual statements. Like I said, you won't get your annual statement unless you correct your address with them. So just make sure that you keep them current on your personal information as well. And again, if you have a life-changing event that you don't change your beneficiaries, if something happens to you, that's going to go to that person that you've designated as your beneficiary. So please make sure that you stay aware of that. Yes, Dana?
How would you go to find out how CalSTRS interacts with previously approved Social Security?
That would be on the website. I would just search it or maybe call them and see what publications they have. CalSTRS, because it's part of the Windfall Act, I believe. And as a CalSTRS member, you do not pay into Social Security. So just so everybody knows that if you have previous, I'm not sure how it affects it, but I would definitely look into that.
Just a quick side note. What if we still have secondary employment that is contributing to Social Security?
That would just have to be coordinated probably with your CalSTRS. I'm not sure, because I have heard that your Social Security will affect the amount of your retirement, but I don't know how. So.
I don't know if STRS
Yeah, I would talk to STRS and get it straight from them. Any information like that, I highly recommend contacting that CalSTRS or CalPERS to get that information directly from them. A lot of times things have changed. They may not update us as well as they should, and we want you to hear it from them. So, and then lastly, this is our HR contact information. Anybody in the office should be able to help you, but this is kind of what they focus on as far as their position. You can always CC me on every email. If someone doesn't return an email or a call, I'd like to hear about it as soon as possible. I want to make sure that I'm communicating with all of the new faculty, because right now it's a lot of information overload, and next week you may think, okay, what did she say again? So please feel free to email me. That's the best way to contact me. Amalia is a new HR tech. We had Anna Gonzalez, which I'm sure a lot of you dealt with during the recruitment. Anna moved to the district office, received a promotion. So I was sad to see her leave, but happy for her on the other hand. Diana Alcala, she handles classified and temporary. Lori, she does the adjunctive faculty. Vicki is the job development specialist for student employment. And then Heather is our receptionist at the front, so you can contact any of us or just come by our office. So, any other questions? No? Well, welcome everyone. Oh, huh?
How are you still sane?
I'm not, yeah. I don't think I am sane. But we always like to see people in our office, so always come by. HR is not the dreaded place that some people want to think it is. We're there to help you. We're there to make your employment enjoyable if you have any questions. One side note, I am also the Title IX investigator. And so for those of you who do not know what Title IX is as it pertains to sexual misconduct, if you hear any type of sexual misconduct going on in your classroom, if you experience any type of sexual misconduct, anything of a sexual misconduct nature, I need to know right away. That's part of my job as the Human Resources Manager. I do the investigations. Our Vice Chancellor at the district office is our coordinator, and she does the final determinations, but I am the investigator. And I just, I want to make sure that everyone's aware of Title IX. I want to make sure everyone's aware that you can email me. You can say, I have this situation. What can you help me? What should I do? You don't have to give me names at the time, but if you have, some uncomfortable situation, please, please, please reach out to me. If you have students that come to you with something of a sexual nature, please respond right away. If the hair on the back of your neck stands up, it is for a reason. We have a lot of students. I think we're going to have 7,000 more this year than we had last year. And, it's a community. And so we just want to make sure that we provide a safe community and that everybody feels comfortable. And so if there's anything that just makes you feel a little bit funny, send me an email, call me on the phone. My cell phone is available for everyone. If you have a class at night, students who have uncomfortable situations, we provide them escort. Always call public safety. Have them call public safety. When you talk to your students on the first day of class, make sure everyone that has a cell phone in your class has public safety's telephone number in it. We have public safety 24 hours a day. So if a student comes to you and says, I feel uncomfortable, contact public safety, contact me. Make sure they have an escort from public safety, because public safety is always here. So I just want students, and yourself as well, if you feel uncomfortable walking to your car at night, contact public safety. They're here. That's what they're here for. So we just want to make sure we provide a safe environment. So, thank you. Oh, yes?
With regards to Title IX, so you're a confidential reporter.
Yes.
Are there other members of the administrative staff or public safety who are also?
I work closely with Nikki Demania, who is the director of student life. And he's the person that you handle student conduct through. So we work really hand in hand on a lot of things. And then Chris Counts is our director of public safety. And I'll go ahead and give everybody the phone number to Public Safety, 395-4554. That's the number I call. So just make sure that you just blast that out there. Pardon?
Last 4 digits.
4554. Yeah, and it's 661. I apologize. There's a lot of people here that aren't from local Bakersfield. So, any other questions? No? Okay. Thank you so much and welcome.